doesn't still. There we go. Good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Glenleathann. I've sold the grass silage and the sugar beet harvester's back. So that's all been done. It is October 3, so we should check. Well, that's interesting. What is that? That's a mulcher. Okay. Blah de blah de blah. Oh, class 960. I like that. Terraphellus. And really not a lot we need. I did add in, I was talking about it last week, this thing, which is a little bit pricey, but it doesn't come with an attached header. It is for sugar beets. And when you look at the combination, there's a bigger header. It's 5.4 meter header, which gives me a little bit more width on the header, which means less risk of running over crop with your big fat tires. Not going to do anything about that now because we've finished the sugar beet harvest, and really at the moment I need to deal with the ground in that field. We have a cloudy morning, so that's good. Oops. Wheat's a little bit wide. There we go. So I want to go and prepare that field, which had the sugar beets in, and get it seeded with grass quickly. Oh, other things I've done, I have chopped down all of the... I filled up the log trailer with more trees at the top and sold those, and then I cut all of the hedges around this grass area, just to give us a little bit bigger of a yard. We'll worry about that later. I did do a little bit of field editing at the corners of fields that I hadn't done yet. Okay, we are here. Okay, let's unfold that. It's fine. This set up. That looks good enough. We'll go about 3 rows in. Or is it minus 3 rows in? Should then give me about 2 headlands worth of laps we can pull, but just to cover things, This field needs to be ploughed, except in the points where I ran over some of the sugar beet, so they didn't get harvested. So we get to play with our big subsoiler. So that's two crops we grow now that need to be ploughed after harvest. Sugar beets and corn, maize. And I did get back to an early in the week railroader episode. I don't see how many people watched that, but I've not done well following the time change. Which I guess is old age. I'm not. I'm not as young as I used to be. So my sleep patterns are completely off. Last week, or for the last week, Teenage O's has been suffering from flu or something, and I've not really come down with it seriously, but it's making me tired, it's making me ache. Oh. We go down to 70%, so 15% on this isn't too bad. And then also downloaded FarmSim25, and I've been pottering around in that. Worked through the tutorial, or the story. And really not much more than that. I'm about to start my first long grain rice field, because, hey, why not? It's a new crop and you don't need any additional equipment over what you get on the starting farm. Let's do that. That really doesn't help. Okay, let's not do that. So we're into October 3. As I said, I think it was last week, was going to cut down on the number of contracts I do. So hopefully time will move on faster. I do need to build a chicken shed and a cow shed, and then populate those, but I'm going to wait on the cows probably until I have a food mixer and the last cut of grass for the year. Because that will give us a good mix for total mix rations. Yes, those things. So not too fussed about that at the moment. I forgot to fill up with diesel. This shouldn't take very much. So yeah, obviously we didn't make any money from the sugar, but we made a lot of money from the silage, the grass silage, and obviously I needed to clear out that bunker so that I have room for the final cut. That's not my field in front of us. Okay. So yes, unfortunately, this is probably going to take a while. And then, that said, it's not like I've got much else to do. I did add the script mod for auto load to this game save, so I can now use the Crone curtain side trailer in auto load mode. So I'm planning to start shipping things like oil and flour using that, because it'll let us move an awful lot more than we have been. And maybe get rid of the little truck van. I might keep that, because we're going to be producing eggs, and eggs is one of the things that the bakery will eventually need. I'm not going to worry about supplying the bakery until at least spring, when we start to grow the sunflowers, because we need sunflowers to make sunflower oil to supply to the bakery, and then we can start to worry about getting all the stuff to make things at the bakery. And that's pretty much the big goal for this series now, is just to get the bakery into production, because I didn't realise it was quite so enhanced. So once we've done that, I'm totally unaware of any new maps coming out for Farm Sim 25 at this time. I'm presuming Oxygen David's working on one. I think Black Sheep Modding is doing some vehicles first, maybe. At least they've announced they're doing vehicles, but I don't know where that falls in their calendar of stuff to release for Farm Sim 25. Maybe they'll put the Old Stream Farm back on the ticket as well. I think they were looking at one of the MAN trucks and a tractor of some type. Can't remember. Seeing what equipment's available in Farm Sim 25, though, I'm kind of hoping that CMT Software steps back up to the plate and gives us back some class Axions and some of the older model Fence, because I don't know, it feels like there's a lot less equipment available in Farm Sim 25 than there has been on release. We've got two Valtras, the S and the T, or the T and the S. We've got the Zerion 12, which is the big four-wheel steer class tractor. And we got the Arian 400, but we lost the 600, we've lost all of the Axions. I like the Axion models. And can't remember if we still got the Fendt 300, but it seems, you know, they've given us tractors to cover all the price points and power ranges, but they haven't given us a full list of one manufacturer. So kind of like we had with Case on FS22. All of the small ones disappeared, but we kept the big ones, because the big ones give you things like the quad track and this thing, which is the Magnum. I think we get the Puma, but things like the smaller ones, they're not on the list. It's a shame we've lost all the small Valtras are gone. And the New Holland T6 not available. The T7 short wheelbase is available, and there is a hidden model of the long wheelbase T7 on the Case Puma, but you would have to pull that and mod it to add the option for it to be a New Holland. Now the funny thing is, I think it was Disturbed Simulations was talking about it and demonstrated how to make it happen. Basically you have to take the base game model, edit the XML as a mod, and then install it in your mod folder, and now you've got sort of the Case Puma and the Case Puma mod. But some of the options are you can do the Power Blue paint scheme, which is technically a T7 tractor thing, but neither of those are obviously selectable for the Case Puma. However, people have seen the Power Blue come out on the Case Puma in the sales. So you can end up in store sales getting your hands on a blue Case Puma, which is kind of funny. And there are apparently there are a whole host of hidden vehicles on some of the in-game models. So where there's a Case, there's a New Holland behind it. We don't have the New Holland T9 either. I don't think we have... I didn't look at John Deere, but I don't think we have the 6R or the 7R. So it's kind of all over the place, really. And the starter farm, I think it gave us a medium Challenger with about 160 horsepower. That can be upgraded to about 225, 230, I think. And then we got an older John Deere, which is stuck at about 115 horsepower. The store, one of the things I like about the existing store is I can go down here and I can see what items I own, and I can see what items I've leased. Those two options are gone, and you have to go to vehicles. Nope. Oh, not that one. Vehicles. And then click on the vehicle. Ooh, good grief. Code 1500 is in a poor position. That's bad. But you have to click on that, and it gives you a window at the bottom showing a picture of the vehicle and the information that I want to know, which is, oh, I've got a medium tractor, I've got this one, 225 horsepower. If I go to the store and look it up, what one was it? I don't know. Probably that one. It's got 225 to 280. So a lot of the windows show 225 to 280. You have to go to your owned equipment to pull up the what has mine got? So I've got this Challenger, and the store tells me it's got 160 to 225 horsepower. It took me ages to find out how much I actually have on the vehicle, because it's just, that convenient little list in the store, what I own, option has gone. So the menus aren't bad. It's one of those, as one person said, teach a dog an old dog new tricks type of deal. I don't know where everything is, but it's still there. But rather than have multiple ways of getting to the information you want, there's now just the Giant's way of getting to the equipment you want, or the information you want. So things like the weather screen, no, there isn't a weather screen. You have to go to the planting calendar, so you have to go to here, and the bottom of the screen is now this. I don't know if you get you might get a couple of hours and then forthcoming days, but you have to go to that screen to find it all. So it's just one of those, well, the information should be there, but I'm not sure where they've hidden it today. So, and eventually we'll get to the point where we know where everything is. Now, I've got the Thrustmaster farm stick plugged in. Obviously, all the mapping for that is still there, although the help screen doesn't seem to point me to it, which is a little bit annoying. It just tells me what the keyboard shortcuts are, and I'm trying to use the side panel as often as possible. I've also got the Logitech G27 steering wheel, which also has its own set of default mapping, which ends up doubling up some of the functions, which I don't necessarily want. I'm thinking it's high time I now did a full remap of the steering wheel and just had stuff on the steering wheel that makes sense. So I've got camera panning, camera zoom, that's all on the steering wheel. I've got the turn signals on the steering wheel. I might move those to a different button though. And things like engine start and what have you. The hazard flashes are on the steering wheel. Tabbing between vehicles is on the steering wheel. Changing the camera is on the steering wheel. And I might remap lots of those types of things. I'm probably going to leave the turn on equipment and raise lower equipment on the side stick, because that kind of fits there. What else do we have on the side stick? All things like tipping and all of that. Yes, that makes sense, but cruise control I don't have on the steering wheel, which I think it would work better there because it's a driving function. Starting and stopping, maybe not setting up GPS, or guidance steering as they call it, but activating and deactivating it I kind of want that on the steering wheel rather than having to reach over and press keys on the keyboard to get that to work. So yeah, what I'll probably end up doing is for FarmSim25 completely remapping the steering wheel functions and then going back and remapping those same functions on FarmSim22 as well, so everything works the same. But yeah, that's in the weeks to come, I think. But yeah, I don't have cruise control on the steering wheel, so I might want to put that on there. And I might take the zoom and pan functions off the steering wheel. I have to see about